I admire Bruce's humility, his grace, how open he is, how welcoming and relatable he is for such a global icon. The mythology of Bruce Springsteen. I have grown very close with Bruce. I love him like he's family. In fact, he took my family and me in at a very vulnerable time when our house burned in a California fire. He replaced my daughter's guitar. Bruce Springsteen is everything and more that you would hope. I wanted to speak to, first and foremost, this being Bruce's most vulnerable and delicate chapter of his life, most painful chapter in his life, as he's expressed. So really, that was my goal. It just happened to be about Bruce Springsteen. And he just happens to be the icon that he is. I said to Jeremy Allen White, who portrays Bruce, and also to Bruce, I said, we are going to strip away Bruce the icon, the mythology, and this is going to be about a man who's suffering generational trauma, unresolved trauma, who has the courage to look inward and write what I think is his most enduring and best album. Well, it's funny you mention that because I would rank this album. That's why I made the film, because this was an album that was introduced to me when I was a teenager, and when you're a teenager, you're incredibly vulnerable. You don't know who you are, you don't know what you want to become, still dealing with whatever childhood issues that you have, right? All of these sort of things. And this was an album that I would listen to on repeat. And then as I was much older and making movies, I would listen to this album as I was writing my other screenplays, well before I knew that I was going to make this into a movie. So it just happens to be kind of perfect for me on a personal level that I'm making this film because the album means so much to me, Bruce means so much to me, and I always strive to make very personal films. And I always hope that people can see themselves in my work. No, not everybody can be Bruce Springsteen. In fact, nobody can be Bruce Springsteen but Bruce. But you can see a man who's at his lowest, a man who's incredibly vulnerable and struggling with generational trauma. He's struggling also with great success that not a lot of us obviously experience, but we all experience issues with being human and being children. And I think it's important for both fans of Bruce's and people who don't really know Bruce Springsteen to see a movie about how you can seek the kind of help you need to get through some very low and dark times. Well, because we live in a world where we have endless content, we have social media feeds that are filtered and curated to perfection. And this is an album about imperfection, about an imperfect man at a very vulnerable time in his life. And I could easily use tools to make Jeremy's voice sound more like Bruce or to sound better, but why do that when you're making a film that's very analog, very intimate, very imperfect, very human? It just seemed to me to be the right way to tell the story.